In 1980, I enrolled at Peking University, where by chance I pursued archaeology, forming an unbreakable bond with our vast homeland. In 1984, I left the campus and joined the Chinese archaeological team at the Sanxingdui site in Sichuan. The discovery of 6 sacrificial pits at Sanxingdui made it an overnight sensation and a popular tourist spot today. While many findings at Sanxingdui seemed accidental, they were, in fact, fated. Archaeologists never believe in luck. We only believe that hard work pays off.
Years later, Lei Yu never expected to return to his passion in this amazing way. Looking back to that afternoon when he left, he, like the students in the audience, carried a mission and enthusiasm of an archaeologist and rushed towards the fields.
My life is like a train heading deep into the history of Sanxingdui, encountering many beautiful sceneries while also missing some important stops.
It's been 37 years across the river of time. His connection with Sanxingdui started with missed opportunities, but continued with reunions. In July, Guanghan had already entered the thunderstorm season. After the great heat, a brief coolness arrives. Upon returning from Beijing, Lei Yu dives straight into his work in the small building where he has lived for over 30 years. Just a few hundred meters away, there is the most eye-catching re-excavation shed at the Sanxingdui site. The newly discovered sacrificial pits numbered 3 to 8 are like 6 mysterious gifts left by the ancient people over 3,000 years ago and are being opened one by one.
How many bronze artifacts have you extracted so far?
We have extracted a total of 103 items, including jadeware, jade beads, and the like. There are also 2 objects like copper pieces, and we have extracted a number of artifacts.
Can we extract these 2 white ones separately? Their shapes are not regular.
After uncovering the ivory, we will scan it and then proceed with the extraction as quickly as possible. There are over 100 densely packed pieces.
The 4 outer ones are not under any force. They are in a kneeling position and serve as decorations. The overall structure is supported by the muscle man statues.
The Sanxingdui site, located in Guanghan, Sichuan province, saw its first discovery in the 1920s. For nearly a century, archaeologists have been excavating and exploring the site, continuously reshaping our understanding of Sanxingdui. Of particular importance, the most significant year was 1986, when pits 1 and 2 were discovered. Many exquisite national treasures were unearthed, including the bronze standing figure, the bronze mask with protruding eyes, the bronze sacred tree, and many other invaluable cultural relics. Since then, Sanxingdui has astonished the world. In 1986, I contracted pulmonary tuberculosis and had to go back to my hometown in Chongqing for recuperation. Consequently, I missed the evacuation of pits 1 and 2, which I felt a bit regretful about. As an archaeologist, Lei Yu is undoubtedly lucky. He finally makes up for this regret near his retirement. After 34 years, the excavation of Sanxingdui was restarted, and Lei Yu is facing a wave of pressure. He needs to participate in the excavation at the sacrificial area and compile archaeological excavation reports about previous discoveries.
Understanding a site or archaeological culture entirely relies on archaeological reports. Several generations have worked on the excavation, and there have been many instances that I haven't personally witnessed. Without being physically present at the site, it is challenging to find a starting point or immerse myself in that state of exploration.
The whole world is awaiting this report because there are too many secrets and speculations about Sanxingdui. What kind of power allows us to reunite through a journey spanning over 3,000 years? Unraveling mysteries with a hand shovel, people hope to gradually approach the world where people and gods coexist once again through this re-excavation. It has been more than 30 years since the excavation in 1986. What led to this new round of excavations at Sanxingdui? Let's rewind the clock to 2 years ago.
I received a photo from Wu Changyuan. He said that a bronze artifact had been unearthed.
On a day in December 2019, while in a meeting, Lei Yu received a photo sent from the exploration site. According to expert analysis, this bronze artifact came from the same period as the artifacts unearthed in Pit 2 of Sanxingdui. Pit 3 was thus officially confirmed. Surprisingly, it is located less than 10 meters away from Pits 1 and 2, discovered in 1986. This small distance of less than 10 meters spans over 30 years of time. Actually, the excavation work at the Sanxingdui site never stopped during these 30 years. However, in order to protect and display the excavation site of the sacrificial area discovered in 1986, protective platforms were built around Pits 1 and 2 in 2004. As a result, this area was not the main focus during subsequent explorations and thus was missed. It was not until the initiation of the project for the ancient Shu civilization protection that the pit was discovered.
On December 20, 2019, Xinhua News Agency released a brief news article titled, Sanxingdui's No. 3 Sacrificial Pit Emerges.
Through this brief title, Lei Yu understood how exciting this news was. The archaeological exploration at Sanxingdui has finally opened a new chapter, and China's archaeology will eventually usher in a brand new era. A grand and magnificent archaeological excavation is about to start. The years pass by, from pursuit to reunion, and time will always give us the best answers. Ran Honglin, born in the 1980s, is currently pursuing a PhD in archaeology at Peking University. As Lei Yu's assistant and alumnus, he is undoubtedly luckier than his senior. He encounters such a significant archaeological discovery during his prime years. However, the pressure on his shoulders is also increasing day by day.
We have discovered that in the southeast corner of exploration ditch number 3, there's a patch of clay that has a different texture and color compared to the surrounding area. Moreover, the boundaries of this patch are relatively straight, and there's a turn that resembles a right angle.
Archaeologically, this is highly likely to represent an artificial cultural relic.
In 2020, Pit 4 was confirmed, and subsequently, Pits 5, 6, and 7 were discovered one after another.
Tang Fei, president of the Sichuan Provincial Cultural Relics, An Archaeology Research Institute serves as the chief leader of this excavation. Faced with a world-renowned Sanxingdui site and 6 newly discovered sacrificial pits, he must proceed with extreme caution.
They might belong to the same group, but the time gap between them is significant, spanning several hundred years.
In 1986, over 6,000 precious cultural relics were unearthed from pits 1 and 2, and now the 6 newly discovered pits are even more anticipated. However, the excavation in 1986 was a rescue excavation with limitations imposed by the excavation conditions of that time, leaving many regrets. This proactive excavation must proceed with caution to ensure a successful and satisfactory outcome.
The purpose of soil sampling is to gain a comprehensive understanding of the environment. We need to develop a total of 10 emergency protection plans. These plans will cover ivory, bronze artifacts, gold artifacts, textiles, and organic residues. We can only proceed after approval of the National Cultural Heritage Administration, once these protection plans are in place.
For archaeology, cultural relics protection is as important as excavation. As director of the Cultural Relics Protection Center, Xie Zhenbin will lead these post-90s to accomplish this significant task.
Some people have suggested moving Pit 3 as a whole to the laboratory for laboratory archaeology, but this will cause great damage to the authenticity and integrity of the site. I do feel a lot of pressure.
How to excavate it, how to protect it. The Cultural Relics Protection Plan not only determines a series of post-excavation protection processes, but also determines how the excavation will be conducted.
In fact, through the integration of technologies, we have been able to bring laboratory archaeology to the excavation site, which could be a highlight of our Sanxingdui archaeological excavations.
Bringing laboratory archaeology to the excavation site means transforming the entire excavation site into a large-scale laboratory. After completing the preliminary exploration in May 2020, the archaeological team conducted a high-precision 3D scanning of the entire excavation site, accurately recording the geomorphological information of the sacrificial area before the official excavation.
It moves very slowly. The accuracy of the RTK cannot keep pace with the flight speed.
Does it stop moving forward?
Yes, it stops moving.
It's hanging in the air.
However, the scanning process did not go smoothly. The aerial vehicle, brought by the mapping personnel, failed to reach the designated airspace and had to return.
That's because there are power grids all around the area, making it impossible to fly the drone and take photos. We have to find a solution from the ground. First, we can use a 3D laser scanner to capture the point clouds of the area. Then we can manually take photos to create texture mapping and generate a 3D model.
After more than 10 days of intense data processing, a clear 3D scan of the excavation area has been created. This scan completely records all visible information on site and will become an important historical document. Such 3D scanning will be conducted at every stage of the Sanxingdui excavation, allowing future generations to fully reproduce the whole process of this round of excavation. Meanwhile, the archaeological team has also invited professionals to conduct physical surveys of the underground.
This is similar to getting a CT scan or a B-mode ultrasound examination. After conducting instrument-based exploration, we can have a general understanding of the underground situation.
Separated by thick loess, the underground world seems to be static despite the flow of time, while things are constantly changing on the ground. It has been over 30 years since the last excavation of Sanxingdui. Time has passed, and this excavation will certainly be different from the past.
After a long period of work at a site, it is essential to summarize our experience comprehensively to make further advancements. The findings we have today are a result of employing scientific methods, demonstrating wise decisions and great courage. We can count on Lei Yu to bring us more and better discoveries in the future.
Today, top experts from the Chinese archaeological community have gathered together to offer suggestions for the re-excavation of Sanxingdui. Those who participated in the excavation in 1986 are particularly concerned about the on-site cultural relic, conservation and information extraction.
Some of the bronze human heads and masks, including bronze vessels, were fully coated with a layer of cinnabar, which has now disappeared.
We discovered lacquerware during the 1986 excavation of Sanxingdui, hanging high on the walls. These treasures were beyond our grasp. This leads me to ponder the existence of silk. Is there a chance to find any silk fabrics?
The final decision made was that experts from multidisciplinary backgrounds would be invited to conduct a brand new round of excavation at Sanxingdui. During this excavation, archaeological excavation and research in cultural relic conservation would be rolled out at the same time.
Sanxingdui will definitely go global, which, however, does not rely merely on the exquisite cultural relics unearthed from our new excavation. And I hope this archaeological excavation can represent the highest level of Chinese archaeology in the 21st century, at least by the time of 2020.
As the summer draws near, the gentle breeze blows at the first light of day. This fertile land, situated in the northern Chengdu Plain and along the southern bank of the Yazi River, in Guanghan, serves as a testament to the ancient Shu civilization. Today, a passageway that leads us into the enigmatic history of the ancient Shu civilization is being opened to us. After a series of arguments by experts, an archaeological shed spanning 2,000 square meters will be erected within the Sanxingdui site. This shed will encompass 4 archaeological cabins and 6 emergency protection laboratories, integrating linear procedures such as previous archaeological excavations, meticulous cleaning, sorting and conservation, research and exhibition. The shed resembles a laboratory, encapsulating the entire excavation site. This approach is completely original, and no experience can be drawn from the global archaeological community. An epic archaeological excavation is gradually unfolding. On August 11, 2020, Guanghan was hit by a torrential downpour that brought the maximum rainfall for the year. With the rain cascading ceaselessly for an entire day and night, the Yazi River surges and swells rapidly, launching the first test on the archaeological shed that is under construction.
The water rose to a depth that was quite frightening. It was so terrifying to see the river was several meters deep. When I ran to the Yatsu River, I couldn't dare to look at it.
As the rain continues to fall, ponding has been observed in many areas outside the shed. Within the shed, thousands of sandbags have been used to tightly cover the area excavated this time, protecting everything from being damaged by water. Over thousands of years, rain has repeatedly washed over this land, as if time has never strayed far. After today's heavy rain, the secrets buried underground for thousands of years are about to be unveiled. After the rain, Tan Fei, Lei Yu, and Ran Honglin, chief leaders of this excavation, come over to inspect the construction site. As the excavation is about to commence officially, all of them are filled with nervousness and eager anticipation.
Will you go back to attend the meeting tomorrow?
As a hint of twilight paints the sky, a distant mountain range typically shrouded in mists and clouds, reveal its contours.
Many scholars, at least a portion of them, believe that the earliest ancient Shu people gradually migrated into the plains through the western Sichuan Plateau, or the mountainous region in western Sichuan. The nearest mountain between the plains and the mountainous region in western Sichuan could have been their route. The ancient Shu people got to Sanxingdui starting from Yingpanshan through Jiuding and Yinghua Mountains, going eastward until Guyanqiao in Xifang.
The route, evidence of where the ancient Shu people came from, indicates how ancient civilization intertwines with modern civilization in space. To know where we are going, we must trace our past and explore our origins. Perhaps this is the essence of archaeological work.
Today is September 6th, a good day with a lot of sunshine. In Chinese culture, Sanxingdui culture can be seen as pride for its openness, inclusiveness, and unique innovation.
After nearly 1 year of preparation, a new round of archaeological excavation at the Sanxingdui site was officially launched at the newly built archaeological shed on September 6, 2020. But is it truly time to begin the excavation?
It's a live training
In
exercise.
this round of excavation, experts in archaeological excavations and cultural relic conservation must work together under a scientific excavation process.
Take out your toolbox to let me check.
I haven't bought one yet.
I'm telling you to buy one. Hand me the paper box. You really need to get yourself a toolbox.
I'm aware of that. That's why I'm here today, to ensure I haven't missed anything.
Careful not to cut your hand.
I've already cut my hand 3
Put
times.
on your gloves.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome. We made this ourselves.
I think you can directly give this to us. All the tools in the box are useful to me.
Just put your legs into the clothing.
A team member puts on protective clothing with the help of Tang Fei and then enters the newly built archaeological cabin for Pit 4.
You have entered the cabin.
The scanner will be placed at each of the 4 corners and operate for about 3 minutes.
The surveying and mapping
We
team?
will do something to that pole. The pole has a keen edge and a sharp tip, so we will wrap a layer of sponge around it.
Let's think more carefully. Are there any problems? Are there any problems about surveying and mapping?
For any clearly observed section, data collection should be conducted.
I roughly agree.
Are there any further points that all of you would like to contribute?
The archaeological team has also raised high requirements for the accuracy of information collection equipment used on site. According to the Field Archaeology Work Rules issued by the National Cultural Heritage Administration, to obtain highly precise 3D coordinates, a total station must be used during the excavation to measure the horizontal angle, vertical angle, and height difference for each cultural relic. The purpose of extracting such information is to put all cultural relics on record and help restore their burial process, through which the ancient Shu people's etiquette rules used at sacrificial sites can be studied. During this excavation, the total station used by the surveying and mapping personnel will collect geographical information that is 20 times more precise than which is necessary for regular projects.
It can be placed upside down, and everything can be measured in both the direct and inverted positions of the total station. If the total station is placed upright, a large blind area may appear.
As the excavation cabin has no bearing beams, there is a large blind area in the position where the total station is installed. 3 rounds of adjustment are necessary.
That should do it.
It is not until late into the night that technicians have completed fine-tuning this high-precision total station that can be operated by a single person.
As long as the screen is in this state, it is locked. Well, let's call it a day. Well done.
On On October 9, 2020, Tang Fei, Lei Yu, and Xie Zhenbin will enter the excavation cabin to commence the first official excavation. This is a day worth remembering.
This layer of soil is certainly contaminated. During the excavation, a layer that is approximately 1 or 2 centimeters thick should be removed first.
As each layer of loess is slowly removed, we gradually uncover the vivid scene of over 3,000 years ago. The work has been implemented in an orderly and efficient manner. Currently, the excavation conditions have become mature. The next step is to make a coordinated plan for excavating the 6 sacrificial pits. Should they be excavated sequentially or concurrently? Which specific teams will participate in?
I recommend we start building excavation cabins at once, as it is proven viable. We need to reanalyze the multidisciplinary research that involves more than 10 discipline systems. The research should be led by experts from Sichuan and possibly from other areas too.
The Sichuan Provincial Cultural Relics and Archaeology Research Institute, as the organizer of this excavation, has invited over 40 institutions specializing in archaeological excavations research, scientific testing, and cultural relics conservation to participate.
The advancement of archaeological technology today thrives through the collaboration of numerous disciplines instead of relying merely on the archaeological discipline.
In my opinion, when tracing the history of Sanxingdui, we can at least be aware that the formation of the 10-day myth, a complex view of the universe, and some primitive religions based on this view coincided with the establishment of Sanxingdui.
Archaeologists can make real discoveries only by entering the excavation site with questions and imagination. The Archaeological Institute has specifically invited Professor Sun Hua, a renowned domestic archaeologist, to deliver lectures.
With the discovery of new pits, we are compelled to ponder their relationship with the existing pits. Pit 1 and 2. What were the intended purposes of these artifacts? Were they all offerings for rituals? Where were these artifacts located before their burial in the pits? Why were these artifacts damaged and buried, with some even being burned?
Professor Sun Hua has raised a series of questions, while Lei Yu will go deeper into the history of Sanxingdui with his own inquiry.
The Sanxingdui bronze civilization emerged so suddenly, I want to trace its origins and explore its more primitive state.
After years of excavation, a common belief is that the Bronze Age of Sanxingdui truly commenced with the discovery of sacrificial pits. The sudden emergence of such advanced achievements raises the question, why did this happen so abruptly?
As the official excavation of Pit 4 has begun, the construction of 3 archaeological cabins is also launched in strict accordance with a schedule. Through reunion at Sanxingdui, we continue to inquire and imagine what happened over 3,000 years ago. What was the daily life like for the people who lived in Sanxingdui, the former capital of the ancient Shu kingdom? What were their religious beliefs? What connections did they maintain with the Shang dynasty in the Central Plains? These questions continue to spark debates within the academic community. But can we find answers through this excavation? The story is just beginning.
四川地区之前还没有发现过任何的丝绸遗迹。
强烈的人为扰动，又烧过，然后又被砸过，然后又被埋过。
截面形态很明确地告诉我们，它就是麻线。
比较大的金箔片，它到底是什么样的东西呢？
我先下一个，您得下跪，我得这样跪9拜，这个还是能这样来。